Yo, what's going on, guys? It is non-reality. In today's video, I am making a Sycraia underwater ruins guide in 2024. Now, this is one of those spots. Like I said with this series, I'm gonna make a guide for every single spot that I've already covered and any newer spots. And this is one of those spots that's kind of fallen from grace a bit. Now, before we get into why that is, let's actually look at how to get here for any new people that still want to try out this spot. So, Sycraia Underwater Ruins is all the way over here in the North Sea. Now, how do we actually get here? So, what I like doing, there's a few ways to get here. The main one would be to go to the port in Velia and to ride a boat all the way out here. You can purchase a boat really cheap at the wharf manager. It will take a while, but you can get out there that way. If you've already explored a lot of the sea, you can go to Ilia Island by using a traveler's map at Port Velia, and it will give you the option to travel to Ilia Island. You go to the north side of Ilia Island and you swim out until you get to Sycraia. And then the last one, at the little peak right here, there's like a little hill going up to Velia. There's a griffin stand up here. You can ride the griffin. The griffin goes all the way to Ilia again, and then you can swim out into the ocean. When you start swimming out to the ocean on your mini map right here, it will say Sycraia Underwater Ruins. Once you see that it says Sycraia Underwater Ruins, no matter where you are swimming, you can then do escape and escape again. And what this will do, this will put you where I am at right now. Now, before we go to the door, there's one thing that we are going to need, which are the item to actually get into the door. So like other ancient spots, you do need an item to enter, and for this one is the fragment of the deep sea. So buy 5 of these. Once you buy 5 of these, you're going to open up your combination pouch and you're going to put the items in. And once you do that, you will get the memories of the deep sea. Now that we have that covered, we're going to be running in this direction, not this direction. You're going to be running outside, and we're going to be taking a left right here. I'm going to just follow my steps. We have stairs right here. Now we're going to stay straight on this line. Stay straight. And once you get up here, it'll be a really big open area. You're going to turn to the left until you see this little ruins area. We're going to be going over to this ruins area because this is how we get into the lower level of Sycraia. So we go up to this thing right here. It says sealed devices. Click on it and put the item in, and you will get into Sycraia. Now, once you are in here, there is a few places that you can actually spawn because it's kind of like a maze in a way. It gives you a few entrances to go through. Basically, what I like doing so I don't confuse myself is as soon as you get in here, pick a direction you would like to go. So for me, it's going to be left. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continuously go left until I figure out where I am. So as I can see right here, okay, so I went left twice and now we're in one of the rotations. So this right here is one of the main rotations I see a lot of people do. This one isn't my favorite rotation, but I'm still going to explain it as a Sycraia guide. I want to explain both of the rotations. We're going to run around this rotation real quick, and we're going to go up to here. Now, this is where the merchant's at. If you're not super far into the game, you don't have a ton of hours, you might not have a ton of maids. Since this spot is one of those ancient spots, you can't put your horse in here unless they change it. Let's check. Nope, they still haven't changed it. Okay, so you're going to be selling all of your trash loot to this guy. You can also buy potions and whatnot, but this is the place you're going to be putting down your tent and doing all of that. Now, I will explain all the stuff about, like, trash loot and what you need to use later on. I just want to go through the rotations real quick. So for the rotations, we have this one right here. So you come down the steps, and it's basically just a big circle. You're going to start here, and you're going to pull all of these mobs together into this circle. Then you're going to run down here, pull these mobs together. You can kind of make up your own rotation depending on your class. And then you're going to go over here, pull these mobs together right here. There's a ton of mobs in this area, so you're going to just constantly be hitting mobs. You're going to come up here. Make sure you always kill these statues because some of them heal the enemy. Some of them slow you. So that one you see slowed me. Attack and casting speed. And then you're going to be going down this way. You're going to be pulling all these mobs to these statues and then run over here to these statues. Then you're going to be going down here, killing all this stuff. And then you're going to start the rotation again. Now, this is the very basic rotation if you are a newer player and you're trying out this spot, because the spot isn't very high requirements. If you're a little bit more geared and you see you're over rotating, what you can do is you can actually come up here, kill these mobs up here, and then drop back down and run back around to the side. That gives you about like 2 to 3 more packs to actually kill. That is like the basic rotation. Now let's get on to my personal favorite rotation. So basically we're going to go up to this guy and we're going to be going the opposite direction. Once we go the opposite direction, we're going to be taking a left over here, and we're going to be running into the main room. Now, this is a big room. This is why I like this spot. It's very good for classes with high movement. Also, classes that kill stuff insanely fast. Luckily, there's no one here. Sycraia has been pretty dead lately because of some of the changes. This is the main rotation here. Now, for tent setup, I personally like going over here to this little hallway. You can place your tent down over here. You just gotta find a spot that actually works. There we go. And then you can start the rotation from here. So how this rotation works, super simple, another kind of circle. And this one has a lot of variety of what you can actually do. So you have this stuff right here. You can pull these mobs together over here, or you can pull them together over here. That's up to you. Then you're going to run over here, pull all these mobs to this corner right here. Make sure you don't go too far to aggro that statue. You want to kind of stay on this side until you kill everything. Then you're going to pull the mobs on this statue right here. Then you're going to run up here and kill everything up here. There's a huge amount of mobs that will pull. You kind of have to do like 2 rotations of your skills to actually kill them all, because they won't all aggro right away. You're going to have to kill them like multiple times. Then you're going to come down here, and I like pulling these mobs over to this middle statue. Then I'll do a zigzag kind of back over to this one, kill these as a standalone group, and then run over here and kill this pack. And then I'll kill this pack over here. Then we run up the ramp, pulling this pack into this pack over here. Go up the ramp. And then there'll be a few packs up here that you can kind of pull together however you would like, and then pull this far pack into this pack right here. Then we're going to be going over here. I recommend killing this statue first, because this is the one that slows. Then you're going to pull the rest of the mobs over to this statue and kill this one. Then you're going to come down here. You're going to pull these mobs together. Also, if you want to, you can pull these mobs into these mobs over here. That's completely up to you. I like doing them separately because sometimes this one right here loves to take its time, and I'll end up killing all of the mobs before that one even comes over. And then once you do that, you basically just jump off of here and you restart the rotation back at the beginning. Super simple. Now, let's actually talk about the silver per hour, because this is where it gets a bit rough. So this spot used to be really consistent. It was never amazing. You'd always get a consistent amount of loot because of the drops. The issue is nowadays there are so many spots that do such better silver per hour. This spot kind of ends up being lackluster. Now, this spot still is very consistent. There is a few things that it relies on, but it is still pretty consistent. Now let's actually look at it. So if this will pull up, thank you. So the Sycraia underwater abyssal ruins, there's the upper part, this one's the abyssal part, this is one that we're looking at. This is all of the items that you're going to be getting. So you have the trash loot, 18k, not terrible. You're not going to be getting a lot of these because you're not going to be using Agris. You will just be using any coins that you might have, or I wouldn't even waste that here, honestly. But you get those as your main trash loot. You get these as like your secondary trash loot. They're kind of just annoying because they fill up your inventory, or they don't fill up your inventory, but they're just an extra thing that costs weight. You get the ancient spirit dust. You get the abyssal essence. This is to make frenzy droughts. No one, not that I really know, no one really uses frenzy droughts. At least, you know, where I'm at in endgame, most people are running elixirs for grinding. Maybe frenzy droughts are still pretty decent. So those are pretty good to have at least. You can also sell them, which is really nice. I don't know if they actually sell right now. I'll check that after this, because sometimes these are maxed out at like 100 pre-orders, and there's sometimes where it's 100 listed. You never know. So next up we have travelers maps, always great to have. We have the ancient creature seals. Now these also are one things that like actually never sell. So you'd better just sell them for 100,000 silver. I know some people do list them for a mil on the market and just wait months for them to sell. You can do that. That's up to you. We have Kaffir stones, always nice to have. We have the Sacred Song. Now this is for the Crocodile Horse Gears C set. You can save these if you want. I personally just sell them because I'm not really worried about getting the C set for my Crocodiles. We have the Seal Black Magic Crystal. If you heard me talk about these before, I always recommend saving them. You need them for a ton of things and just really nice to have. Blackstone, same thing. Need them for a lot of things. Just save them. Then we have the Tungrad Ring. This is like the main way you make money here. They are dropping, but you never know what happens. You know, they could say about the set effect that they were talking about at the one conference. So these could raise a lot. I've seen them at like 260 mil before. So this is where kind of like I was talking about this spot kind of fell from grace a bit, is because these are sitting at 120 mil. So they're about down, you know, 100% from what they were before, which definitely puts a huge damper on the spot. And then last but not least, you get the artifact for max stamina if you need those, or you can melt them down for the purified light stones. But yeah, this spot, from what I've been seeing, I did an hour here, but I really didn't do too well. I didn't get any drops. From what I've been seeing, the spot's like 600 to 800 mil. Now, as I've said before in these videos, that's a rough estimate of people that are actually grinding at the spot at a required level. I'm not trying to like be like, oh, I'm 320 AP, so I can grind this spot and make a bill. Most people aren't 320 AP, and most people that are 320 AP aren't grinding this spot. So if you're around, 260, I'd say, and the DP really doesn't matter, but like 260, you grind the spot probably around 600 to 800 mil, depending on how good you do and how many tongue guard rings you get. You could get really shafted and you could get none, and your silver will be terrible. And you could get really lucky. I've had hours where I've gotten like 4 to 5 tongue guard rings, and now you're making over a bill an hour. But it is all up to the tongue guard rings and also where they are at in the current market. Right now, 120 mil, I'd probably not even sell them if I did get them if you wanted to grind here, because it is good to grind different spots so you don't get bored. But if you do grind here, I would not recommend selling them right now, especially with the set effect maybe coming out, maybe not coming out, who knows. But yeah. And then for the spot, I just figured out that this was a thing. You can actually check out the total AP that is here. So this is a 600 AP spot, and it is a 70% zone, which means even if you have over 600 AP, it's still good to stack AP because it is a 70% degrading system instead of a 5%. And this spot, since it is like one of those ancient spots, there isn't an exact artifact set or lightstone set that will be the best here. Kind of just throw on whatever you have as the best, death blow, all out attack, some sort of AP type thing, or some crit damage will work fine here, or whatever your best in slot is. But yeah, that's basically it for the spot. For me, I don't see myself coming back here unless something happens with tongue guard rings or they just revamp the spot a bit. And like most of my videos, I'll probably revamp the spot next week and then make my video completely useless and I'll have to redo it. But yeah, if you guys did like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.